I hope you're well. This video is one I've not wanted to produce. And I use the word produce loosely. Man, I've had enough of a few things. For one thing I've had enough of is the song When the Levee Breaks by Zepparella, performed by Zepparella. When I watch it, it reminds me of the outro of that video that I used when talking about the video I'm making now, how the levee's gonna break. Now, I don't know how many subs I've got. I'm afraid to look. I generally don't. Every few months I see it by accident. And it doesn't matter if I have 1 or 20. Well, it does matter if I have 1, because that 1 was me, and I'd like to thank somebody of the watch. But man, you know, guys, and then I started watching. See, I'm driven by music. And then I started watching Norwegian Wood performed on a 12-string. I used to I'm a 12-string guitarist, man. I used to play a Penco 12-string. It's a copy of it's a Japanese guitar of exceedingly high quality. It's a copy of the Ibanez Persuader? I'm not sure on that one. Anyway, man, check this out, man. And how does my Penco guitar tie into this video? It doesn't. It just makes me yearn for the past. Listen to her play. Hang on. Her guitar looks exactly like my Penco 12-string. Again, how does that tie in with anything? It doesn't. But it made me angry, man. I'm sick of shit. It's time to tell you guys a few things. Now, I was about to post a video test, right? And I'm going to. That's it. Right there. It's done transcoding. How would you feel if you were the only human being, or in fact the only living organism, standing on the surface of Mars? Could you handle it? No. I'm going to go out to the garage where I'm a little more comfortable. Boy, am I shaking. And I feel kind of bad because I'm going to get worked up, guys. Am I going to cuss? Oh, I'm sure I will. And it scares Blitzen. And I didn't realize when I was making that video test movie, I didn't realize Blitzen was crying so bad in the background, and I felt awful afterwards. But here, watch a little bit of Norwegian Wood while I go out to the garage. Be right back, guys. Okay, guys. I've got things set up out here so I can give you a couple different views to look at. So you don't have to see things from my chair the whole talk like we did before. Because I'm afraid the only things that have changed is the lid to the air conditioner and the camp stove. I've been doing a boil test. For why? My upcoming tomato canning, of course. Hang on. Whoops. This might be the last time I ever say this. I pause you. Oh boy, am I nervous as hell. My chest is just pounding right now. I've been afibbish lately, last few weeks. Had a cardiology appointment Thursday, and it went fine. Yeah, he wasn't impressed, and I was overjoyed. One moment. Things are as they should be. I don't have my glasses on. Things will probably be on quite the angle. I'm using the Hildebeest phone, so yeah. Okay, guys, this is a talk about my ham radio license. Why the FCC's refused to take action on it. It's either because they're federal bureaucrats or because ham radio is such a nothing part of what they're tasked to do that I fell through the cracks, but I highly doubt that. Why? Because when my license expired in June of 21, I filed the renewal application, right? Well, for the first time in my 48 years as a ham, there appeared, you know what's coming next, guys, and I'm starting to get pissed off, the big F question, the felony question, right? And believe it or not, I had to check it. Yes, I do have a felony conviction in my background. Now, I can only say so much in this video, guys, or I'm only willing to say so much, because I'm not going to say anything that could jeopardize or sway the FCC in either direction. But what I will say is that much of society, if not most of society, when they hear about a person charged with a felony for what I was charged with, they instantly judge you and hang you. They don't even want to hear the details or any contributing factors or any mitigating factors. For the felony I was charged with is not a noble crime like capital murder or, armed robbery or anything like that. No, much of society could deal with that, right? And so, who am I? I'm somebody ready to give you something else to look at. One moment. Check it out, guys. Might be kind of hokey, but that's my digital voltmeter. I'm going to make it more hokey by a couple digital temperature gauges and mount them on one on either side to indicate the head temp on this flat opposed two-cylinder Onan engine. Now, hang on. Dang it, Bobby. I did it again. I paused you. Okay, guys. So, who am I? I'm just a normal guy, like you. I was quite introverted most of my life, until I hit my 30s and I came out of my shell. For example, I spent lunchtime all 3 years in junior high school reading through a 300-plus page Navy communications manual used to train communications technicians. And I became a first-class licensed step seat engineer in high school. Yeah. But other than that, who am I? Just a normal dude. Learned Morse code at the age of 14. Had a lot of had a lot of distractions in life, meaning basketball and my friends, you know, and trash picking and building inventions. You know, just a normal guy for my age. Life was good. Life is good. Went to college. Met my redheaded sweetheart Sherry. Got married. Had a family. Blah blah. You know, time goes on, man. Got a divorce. Time goes on. I've talked about the abject fucking torture I suffered when I fell out of my barn loft and broke my left leg, broke both the tibia and the fibula, and tore the associated tendons away from the bone, and was offered no pain relief other than take an ibuprofen as needed, man. And it's understandable that I wasn't offered any kind of narcotic pain relief. And we'll talk more about that in a minute. So that's why I turned to YouTube. I watched a couple of those videos. Boy, was I a cranky bastard back then from the pain. Did the restoration on the Heathkit SG8 signal generator and got all angry at a blob of solder on the chassis, and I named him Bob Blob, and I loved it. I featured Bob Blob in a video. You know what I mean? And I found that using YouTube, producing silly stuff for YouTube, was a wonderful distraction from the pain and misery and suffering. You know what I mean? And yeah, so no narcotic pain relief after destroying my left leg. Yeah, I was fine with that, man. Hang on. I'm going to give you something else to look at now. I pause you. And the reason why I was fine with that was because in the year 2001, I suffered a spinal injury, and I've talked about this before, that resulted in the most vicious, hideous, cruel torture I could imagine, beyond what I could have imagined. I had a piece of my L3, L4 disc fracture, and a piece shaped like a piece of pizza separated, and the pointy end stuck into my spinal column, and it crippled me. I worked the whole time. I've talked about it all before. We won't go through it all again. But what I will mention again are the Vicodin extra strength I was prescribed. They were the strong ones, an early version of OxyContin. And I'm shaking just thinking about it, that phase of my life. I had to work every day. I had to function. I was divorced. I had my children to help maintain, and, you know. And boy, the doctor was prescribing me bottles of 180 at a time. And that got, yeah, I'm shaking. I'm about to cry, man. It's starting to thunder out appropriately. Oh, God. That bottle of 180 lasted me a couple weeks. And she, therefore, wrote me an open script. I could get as many as I wanted, as often as I wanted, and I was getting my 180 refilled twice a month. I was taking 360 or more Vicodin extra strength a month just to get through. I did that for almost 11 months until the night before my surgery. That phase of my life, that monstrously overdose of codeine, resulted in a period of my life that I can barely remember now. What do I want to add? I got to be careful with what I say now. It caused me to make outrageously and disastrously poor decisions. The results of many of those I can barely or not remember now. The felony I was charged with, and I use that word carefully. Let's be careful with that word. The felony that I was charged with was one I could basically not contest if I wanted to go free. If I wanted a fair hearing by the courts. Let's recap. Am I a criminal? That's laughable. I'm like you. Probably less criminal than most police officers, whom I respect, by the way, mightily. Now I've lost my line of thinking. Am I a criminal? That's laughable. Did I commit a criminal offense? Of course I did. Or, none of this, I wouldn't be making this video right now.